Good morning, Miss Amanda.
Good morning, Miss Amanda. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Just one more minute while we wait for everybody to join from the waiting room. Okay, remember to turn off your cameras as you enter. Thank you. All right, so let's begin. We have about 17 students. I'm going to start to begin on time. For those people who don't join on time, then it's their responsibility to go back and look at the videos, okay? All right, so let me share my screen with you. And there we go. There is my screen. Okay. All right, so let's start. Let's start by taking a look. Yesterday, before we finished, we were looking at this, right? I think we were looking at this chart. Let me check to make sure that is correct, if that was the thing that we ended on. Jomana, is this correct? We were looking at this chart?
Yes.
Okay, baby, thank you. All right, very good, thank you. All right, so sorry, just 1 second, still have people coming through. Okay, so we were talking about the main character. I'm going to quickly do this so we can move on to today's work, okay? So we were talking about the main character, Paulina, how the setting of the story was a small kingdom, how Paulina enters a competition to marry a prince, and she believes that she will win because she knows that there's not another real princess near where they live for quite a ways. The middle of the story, she wants to give up because after going through the test, she thinks that they're all pretty silly and she wants to give up, but she mixes the ingredients that she has for the cooking contest because the queen tells her that she's going to chop the heads off of anyone who loses. Okay, and her dish ends up to be good. It ends up to be the best dish, okay? All right, and Paulina wins the competition, but instead of marrying the prince, she opens a pizza shop, okay? All right, so this is a recap of our story, character setting, the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end, okay? All right, let's go on to Your turn, practice book, page 8. Your turn, practice book, page 8. All right? Now put that down. Your turn, practice book, page 8. Everybody open to page 8, please. All right. All right, on page 8, let me see how many questions there are. Five, okay. So on page 8, there are 5 questions. Okay? I'm going to take the first 5 hands up to read and answer those 5 questions. Okay? First 5 hands up. All right, first hand, Hamza. Hamza, please read number 1 for us.
Okay. The
Okay.
strange bell always chimes so late.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
1 second. I'm just trying to find it on my
Okay.
phone so I can look with you as we do it. I have the whole book in my phone, it seems. Just 1 second.
Should I open my camera? Or
Yes, please. Open your camera when you answer, sure. Whenever we answer a question, you guys are welcome to open your camera while you answer, okay?
okay.
Thank you, Hamza.
Should I
All
read
right.
now?
Yes, dear. I'm still trying to find it, but I'll try to catch up with you. Go ahead.
The strange bell always chimes so late.
Okay, the strange bell always chimes so late. So it says to circle the word that has the short vowel sound, ah, or oo. Which word in that sentence has a short vowel?
Bell.
Bell, correct. So we circle bell and we write bell on the line. Number 1, we circle bell and we write bell on the line. Thank you, Hamza.
You're welcome.
Sorry, guys, my connection cut out for just 1 second. Okay, so let's see here. Thank you, Hamza, very much. Adito, your hand was next. Can you read number 2? Adito, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Adito, can you read number 2 for us?
My poor health was a good reason to stay home.
My poor health was a good reason to stay home. Which word has a short vowel sound? Ah, or oo. Which one of these words has a short vowel sound?
A. Health.
Health, that's right. Health has short E sound. Health. Okay, very good. So we circle health and we write health on the line. Thank you very much, Adito. All right, Abdulrahman, good morning. Remember, you can open your cameras when you answer. Good morning, Abdulrahman. Can you read number 3 for us?
The child was flat, so we needed to wait.
I can't hear you. Can you raise your voice?
The child was flat, so we needed to wait.
Okay, which word has a short vowel sound?
Flat.
Flat. Very good, Abdurrahman. Thank you. Flat is correct, has a short A. We circle flat and we write flat on the line. All right, number 4. Thank you, Abdurrahman. All right, Ragmini, next hand up.
Yes.
All right, Ragmini, can you read number 4 for us?
Yes. I could hear the crunch of a toy falling down the stairs.
Okay, which word has a short vowel sound? A, I, or U?
Here. Here. No, crunch, crunch.
Airs, not stairs.
Crunch, crunch.
Crunch. Crunch is correct. Short U. Crunch. Excellent. Very good, Ragmini. Thank you so much, dear. Crunch is correct. We circle crunch and we write crunch on the line. All right, Jumana, your turn.
Yes. She gave the team hints so they could find the clue.
Okay. She gave the team hints. Turn the phone close. She gave the team hints so they could find the clue. Which has a short vowel sound? A, I, or U?
Hints.
Hints, correct. Very good. Did you say hints? That's what I thought I heard. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Okay, dear. Hints is correct. That's right. Hints has a short I sound. Hints. Okay? All right, excellent. All right, I'm going to say this again, as I've said many times before. Please come to the meeting on time. Don't come to the meeting 10, 15 minutes after we start. Come to the meeting on time, okay? All right. Thank you very much. So to quickly recap for those people who are joining us, we have just finished completing page 8 in your turn practice workbook. You can go back and watch the video for the answers that you missed, okay? Please be on time to the meetings. All right, now, next, we're going to, one second, let me move this over. When you have a Zoom meeting, you have controls on your screen that only I can see. So when I go to do something, I have to move these things around so I can see. And only I can see it. So it looks like I'm not doing anything, but I'm actually moving things around to use the screen. All right, so here we go, grade 4. Not what I want. Thursday. So there's a folder Thursday. Where is Thursday? Thursday, where are you? There. All right, so let's start. We're going to go complete the Your Turn while we're here. Let's go over the Your Turn practice workbook. Page 6, Your Turn practice workbook, page 6, okay? Open to page 6, we're going to do these answers together. I want to move this, let me see, please go bigger. Okay, that's good. All right. So on page 6, we see that there is a small story at the top of the page. 1, 2, 3 paragraphs at the top of the page. And we're going to read it, answer the questions that follow, okay? All right. All right, so before the ball, okay? I still have hands up, I have 1, 2. I need one more hand. Next person with a hand up, your hands to give someone else a chance. I have 2 hands up. All right, let's let Leanne and Yusuf read for us. Leanne, can you read the first paragraph? I'm lowering your hands if you've already taken a turn, okay? Let's give somebody else a chance to answer first. All right, Leanne.
Yes.
Once I lower your hand, please don't put it back up. That means you've already answered. We want to give everybody a chance to answer. All right, Leanne, can you please read for us
Yes.
the first
Yes, I can read.
paragraph?
Okay. I waved my hand, light
Okay, dear, go
flashed,
ahead.
and I waved my hand, light flashed, and in a puff of smoke, the pumpkin transformed into a beautiful horse and carriage. I turned to Cinderella and smiled. Not bad, but do you think? I asked.
Okay, thank you. Yusuf, can you read next? Remember, you can open your camera when you read, okay? Yusuf, can you read next?
Yes.
Go ahead, Yusuf. You can finish for us, okay?
It's perfect, Cinderella shouted. How can I ever repay you for all you have done? You can get into that carriage and get to the ball on time, I said, and sent her.
I said and sent.
Miss, I can't see the rest of the paragraph.
You have your workbook in front of you? You should have your workbook in front of you.
Okay, I got it.
You should always have your books next to you. I wrote on the weekly plan to have your books. Do
You
you
can get
have
into
your book?
Yes.
I can't hear you, honey. You're breaking up.
Yes, I have the book.
All right. I can't hear Yusuf, so I'm going to read again. I want to recap what they read, okay? All right. Before the ball, I waved my wand, light flashed, and in a puff of smoke, the pumpkin transformed into a beautiful horse and carriage. I turned to Cinderella and smiled. Not bad. What do you think? I asked. It's perfect, Cinderella shouted. How can I ever repay you for all you have done? You can get into that carriage and get to the ball on time, said, and sent her on her way. Finally, Cinderella was off to the ball. My work was done. All right, so first I want to ask you a question. How is this story like the story, The Princess and the Pizza? I'm lowering all hands so you have a chance to raise your hand to answer this question, okay? All right. How is this story like our story that we read, The Princess and the Pizza? What is similar about that? Muhammad, do you know?
They are both princesses.
Remember, you can open.
Hello?
That's right. They're both stories about princesses. You are correct. Our main character in both stories is a princess. That's very good. All right, we are on page 6 in the reading practice workbook. For those people that joined late, page 6 in your turn workbook, page 6, okay? All right, so you're absolutely correct, Muhammad. Thank you. The main character in this small story and the story that we read, The Princess and the Pizza, are both princesses, okay? All right. We're going to answer the questions about the story. 1 second, I have a few hands up. Let's see what their questions are. Yusuf, do you have a question? Yusuf, your hand is up. Do you have a question? Okay, Reem, do you have a question? Reem, do you have a question? All right, I'm going to lower your hands. Okay. Reem, your hand is back up again. Do you have a question there? All right. So let's move on to the questions. The first question is number 1. Who wants to read number 1? Raise your hand for me if you'd like to read the first question.
If I wanted to answer, you didn't unmute me.
I wanted to say something.
I'm sorry?
I wanted to say something.
Okay, I heard Yusuf and Reem both talking at the same time. 1 second. Yusuf, what are you saying?
I wanted to answer, but you unmuted me late.
No, I muted you because your voice was cracking up. We couldn't understand what you were saying, so I muted you because your voice was breaking in and out. Okay, your voice was going in and out. That's why I muted you while you were reading. Okay? We lost what you were saying. Okay? All right, Reem, what is your question?
I wanted to say that they wanted to marry a king. They both wanted to marry a king.
Okay, well, I think Cinderella, we don't know that Cinderella wants to marry a king, but with it, she wants to go to the ball, right? So she wants to go to the royal event. But yes, the main similarity between our two stories is that our main character was a princess. Okay. All right. Now, the 3 hands that I have, 4 hands, have already answered a question today. So I'd like to see people who have not answered. I'm going to lower your hands, Ragmini, Hamza, Muhammad, and Adito, because you've already answered today. I'm going to lower your hands and try to give someone else a chance to answer. All right, so I'd like to see other hands go up, please. I need to see participation from the rest of the class. I only have 5 or 6 students who answer every day and answer everything. So I want you to involve yourself and start to answer questions, all right? All right, let's start with Malik. Malik, can you read number 1, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna just do something quick.
Sorry?
Okay, I'm back.
Are you ready to read the question?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
How do you know this story is a fairy tale?
How do we know that this story is a fairy tale? What do we know about this story that tells us it is a fairy tale?
Because
You know, Malik?
it has a main character. Yes. Yes, I can't hear you. Okay,
I'm waiting for you to answer.
I said because
How do we know this is a fairy tale?
I said because it has a main character.
Okay, all stories have a main character. what makes this one a fairy tale? What about this story makes it a fairy tale? Let's ask one of your friends and get some help, okay? All right, Reem. How do we know this is a fairy tale?
Because it is not real.
That's right. We have characters. We have characters in our story. The fairy godmother who does magic. We have characters and events that don't exist in real life. Okay, these characters and events could not exist in real life. They are make-believe. They are made up. That is correct, Reem. You are right. They are characters that are made up and events that are made up. Can we really turn a pumpkin into a carrot? No, that's right. Okay, very green. Thank you. Good job, honey. All right. Looking for people who have not answered. Wahba. Wahba,
Yes.
can you read number 2 for us, please?
What events in the text identify it as a fairy tale?
Okay. Let me roll down and see the question here. Sorry. What events in the text identify it as a fairy tale? Oops, I might have given you much information for the first question. What happens in the story that we know it's a fairy tale, Wahba?
That the pumpkin transformed into a carriage.
That's right. She turns the pumpkin into a carriage. We have a make-believe event, so we know that that happens in a fairy tale. What happens to a main character in a fairy tale? What do they have to do in a fairy tale that makes it a fairy tale?
A difficult task.
Remember when we talked about the dragon problem? That's correct. They have a difficult task or a journey to make, okay? So in our story, Cinderella completes her task of getting ready to go to the ball. Okay, thank you, Wahba. I can hear somebody's parents talking in the background. All right. Let's see. The main character completes a task, and we know that fairy tales have happy endings. So the happy ending here is that Cinderella was ready to go to the ball. She left to go to the ball. All right, read number 3 for us, please. Somebody's voice I have not heard today. Farida.
Hello?
Good morning, Farida. Can you read number 3?
Yes, sure. What task does the main character have to complete? How does she complete it?
Okay, so let's look first. Let's go back to the story. This story, it's written in first person. It's written I. Who is this story about? I waved my wand. Who is this person talking? Who is I? Farida, do you know?
Yeah, it's the princess.
Not the princess. The princess didn't wave the wand. Who waved the wand? Who turned the pumpkin into a beautiful horse and carriage?
The witch.
Okay, she's not a witch. She's a fairy godmother, but she has magical powers like a witch. So she's the one, and we know that it's her because she says, "I turned to Cinderella." So she was talking to Cinderella. Okay, so we have 2 main characters, the princess and the fairy godmother. What does the main character, the fairy godmother, because we are using here the word I, so we know the fairy godmother is the main character, okay? So what does the fairy godmother have to do in our story? What is her job?
Wait. Can you give me a second so I can find what is going on?
Yes, you can look back, honey, no problem. All right, let's get some help from a friend because we're going to run out of time. Let's see. There are lots of names here at the bottom of the list of people that I never see you raise your hand or ask to answer. Omar. Good morning, Omar. Hello, Omar. Omar, are you there? Farida, if you get the answer, tell me, just let me know.
Okay. Can I ask
All
you?
right. Omar, I guess you're not here. Only your name is here because I don't hear anybody answering me back. Omar? Okay. When I take attendance, I take it by you answering, not by your name being in the log. You have to answer when I call on you for me to count you as present during our meeting. All right, Leela, you there? Leela?
Hi.
Hi, Leela. Do you know what the fairy godmother has to do in our story?
Yes.
What is she supposed to help Cinderella do?
It's the main character.
Yes, what does she help Cinderella do? Does she help Cinderella bake a cake?
Yes.
What does she help? No, she doesn't. Right, that's right. No, she doesn't help her bake a cake. What does she help her do? What is she doing in our story?
I think she helped her
Let's go
because
back and look together. What do you say, Farida? Go ahead.
I wanted to say I think she wanted to help her to make her look like a princess.
Miss,
Because where is she going?
She's going to the prom.
the pumpkin. It's the pumpkin transformation into a beautiful horse. And
Yes, she
carrying
does turn it, but why is she doing that? Why does Cinderella need a beautiful carriage? Where is she going?
So she can go to the party or prom.
Okay, it's called a ball. Yeah, you're right. Just like it's here in the title, the ball. It is a big party, Farida. You are correct. Thank you, dear. All right, so the fairy godmother's job is, the fairy godmother's job is to get the princess Cinderella ready to go to the ball. Okay? The main character has to get Cinderella ready to go to the ball. And she does that. She completes her task by turning the pumpkin into a carriage. Why is this important? Because we know in a fairy tale that our main character has a difficult task or a journey to do. Okay, so this is the answer. She helps Cinderella get ready to go to the ball by turning pumpkin into a carriage. All right, what other text features does before the ball include? Let's go back and look. Here at the top, what do we see? Other than the text, the writing, what do we see at the top? Iyad.
Yes, Miss.
What do we see at the top other than the story?
The title?
We have a heading. Yes, we have a heading. What else do we have?
We have illustrations.
What do you see, Iyad?
I see a
Excellent.
picture of
Bravo. We have an illustration. Fantastic, Iyad. And we have in this illustration something that shows us that our story is a fairy tale. How can we tell by looking at this picture that our story is a fairy tale? Raise your hand if you can tell me. What about this picture tells us that our story is a fairy tale? Do you know, Ian?
What?
Do you know? Do you know how we can tell from this picture, the illustration, that our story is a fairy tale?
Okay, because the magic woman is holding a magic stick, turning a pumpkin into a I really don't know the story of Cinderella.
Yes, she's turning the pumpkin into a carriage. You are correct. The fact that she is doing magic, are we able to do magic in our everyday lives?
No.
No, this is something that is made up. So we can look at this picture and tell that there is magic, which is something that is made up. And we can also tell that this character is made up. Do we see people like this every day in our life wearing princess hats, walking around doing magic?
Nope.
Okay, we do not.
No.
So our answer for number.
Even her name is Fairy Tale Godmother. Even her name is Fairy Tale Godmother. That's
right. Her name is Fairy Godmother. But yes, it does have fairy, and fairies are make-believe creatures, okay? All right, so let me try this a little bit smaller so it will all fit on your screen. It either goes from really big to half the screen. All right, so Iad told us that we have an illustration. He is correct. That illustration shows us that the character does not dress the way that we do in real life. She's dressed differently than us. She's dressed like a princess. Yusuf, don't write on my screen. She's dressed like a princess. And she is doing magic. The action that she is doing is not something that happens in real life. All right, I have two hands up. Let me see if we have a question. Here, more than two hands now. I'll try to get to as many of your questions as I can before the time runs out, okay? You are to write this in your book on page 6. You can screenshot, you can play the video and pause it, or you can wait for model answers to be posted after I receive assignments, okay? All right, let's see. Abdurrahman, do you have a question?
No, I wanted to answer.
Okay, put your hand, guys, if you were waiting to answer and you have a question, please put hands down, okay? Put your hands down if you were only waiting to answer. If you have a question, keep your hands up, okay? All right, Mohammed, what is your question?
Miss, do we have a spelling quiz?
No, honey, there's no spelling quiz listed on your weekly plan. All right, Yusuf.
No,
I'm going to lower your hand, Yusuf. Sorry, it's still up. Okay. Tahir. Tahir, do you have a question? All right, putting your hand down. Iad, do you have a question?
No, I don't. I understand the story.
All right, I'll put your hand down. Leanne, do you have a question? Okay,
Yes.
putting your hand down. You have a question, Leanne?
How? Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Do we have a reading quiz on Sunday?
Yes, we do. We have a reading quiz on Sunday, and I explained yesterday that you will take the reading quiz in the session, and it will not count this week. This is the first time for the new students to see what our quizzes are like. So we will take the quiz, I will grade it, and you will get a mark, but I will not count the first mark. Okay? Give our new students a chance to see what our quizzes are like, okay? Just like I did for you in grade 3. All right.
Okay.